Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. I've recently been testing all sorts of budget decks and I also decided to retest Demon Hunter. I earlier built a couple of pretty good Demon Hunter budget decks that I played all the way to High Legend, and now I wanted to see if they're still up to par. And they are indeed. Demon Hunter, even Aggro Demon Hunter, people are more playing Soul Demon Hunter nowadays, but Aggro Demon Hunter is still a very, very powerful deck, and this is the take on it that I like the most right now. So I went back to this Altruis and Skull of Gul'dan build, and I've included Cult Neophyte and Frozen Shadow Weaver as my tech options. So this sort of deck has some gameplay to prevent people from hitting, so you can stop Soul Demon Hunter from healing, you can stop Weapon Rogue from doing things, you have some ways to disrupt spells, so that's good against druids, that's good against cyclone mages, against priests, and you have one huge swing turn with Altruis the Outcast, especially if you are able to cast Skull of Gul'dan, get some cheap or even free cards, and then go Altruis into multiple cards for just incredible swing turns. Note that I am not using Marrow Slicer in this list. I think Marrow Slicer is one of the trap cards for this type of deck. Marrow Slicer is good if you don't use it in a Skull list. If you go without Skull, without Altruis, Marrow Slicer is fine. That allows you to deal more direct damage and a little bit less trickstery. But this sort of list where you have the Skull of Gul'dan and you want to get those cheap cards, then Marrow Slicer does more harm than it does good for this game plan. The game plan itself is rather straightforward. You go with your early game minions. In the Mulligan you're looking for Battle Fiend, Blazing Battle Mage, Intrepid Initiate. Maybe you can go for something like Bone Chewer Brawler together with Guardian Orc Merchant if you get those. Twin Slice is useful against other aggressive decks where you need to use your hero power and your hero to remove stuff so that your minions can stay on the board and keep dealing damage. So your first line of attack is these early game minions, then your second line is your Satyr Overseer and your Claybound Adept, then you have a Voracious Reader that can give you a bit of a refill, and as your last line of attack you have that Altruis turn with the big swing. Sometimes you want to use Altruis a little bit early, maybe deal 1 damage, 2 damage, so that you can get board advantage, and sometimes you do a bigger turn with it, but that's one of the later game options that you have. Overall a fairly straightforward and fun deck to play. And I still had great success with this archetype even in Legend. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also support the content that I create by joining as a member on YouTube or joining as a subscriber on Twitch where I live stream 6 days a week, so check down below for a link to my Twitch channel if you're interested in that. And now, let's go take a look at Aggro Demon Hunter in action. Together with a lot of others, a lot of early game. I kind of like this. Let's see where this one's going to go. Mage kept 2 cards, so there should be a lab partner. Oh, but the one that's going to be played is not going to be the top deck. There is indeed a lab partner. Can I afford to let the lab partner stay? Because I have the option to kill it. I think I'll just kill it. Demons. What if this... But Mage can't afford to play Crime Session, like, right? No, I think this is still fine. This is still fine. Even if Mage has Crime Session, it's not very easy to play here. There's no spell that goes from 1 damage to 2 damage in that mage's deck, so that also doesn't matter. This is correct. Gives me ways to also just hero power down this one next turn. Double Ray of Frost, okay, deals 3 damage. Why do I care? All of my minions have 2 health anyway. Arcane Breath deals 3 damage. I don't care. My minions have 2 health anyway. Like here. Nothing was gained from this lab partner. Now I do want to kill it though. And I believe I'm ready to use that to hit into it. It can of course be pinged, but that's low tempo if the mage goes for that one. The next one I have Unbowing. It can be hero power Unbowing, it can be Unbowing hero power, It can be Twin Slice. There's a few alternatives there. That can be a little bit annoying. Could it be a Neophyte hero power? This one's probably going to die next turn. Which is a little bit unhappy, of course.
I grow impatient.
Neophyte is unlikely to save it. It's going to be hero power to kill that, and then play the Umbowing. I get a couple of other targets on this board, and I have both charges of the Umbowing remaining, so I can do like hero power, Twin Slice, Neophyte, for example, next turn. Is Marrow Slicer not worded in Budget? Marrow Slicer is not worded in the Skull of Gul'dan version. If you look at the statistics, you can see that there are no good, there are no good performing lists right now, aggro lists. And the ones that everyone runs Marrow Slicer in them, of course. But the performance of Marrow Slicer is abysmal. You shouldn't run it if you run this sort of Skull of Gul'dan Altruis list. Only if you run the No Skull list, then you should run the Marrow Slicer. Time for some Neophyting, I believe. I don't exactly have a whole lot else. I want the Guardian Oak Merchant out there too. I want to kill that minion, and this one's going face. Let's see. Next turn, playing whatever top deck I get, then 6 will be the Skull. Most likely. This turn mage shouldn't be able to do much. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, that is unfortunate. I don't want to miss out on the hero power damage here. But this can give me a good play. A little bit later with the Skull. It just doesn't go quite the way I wanted it to. And now the key question here is whether the mage has a Sorcerer's Apprentice turn now. Because if they have it exactly this turn, then it's a problem. If they don't, I should be fine. We're just about to find out. Because I will have another weak turn after this one. But if there is no... If Mage's big turn is the next turn, then it's still fine. I haven't seen any cram sessions and Mage manages to get... There's a lot of spell damage stuff coming. Well, this is always going to be the Skull of Gul'dan. And that's that turn. And now for 7 mana I can play all of these cards. So I hope that the mage tries to pop off now. Because then I will pop off in response. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes. Sufficient damage is there.
Do you see what must be done?
Out the Altruis. Get the Battle Fiend out there. Get the Reader out there. Get the Battle Mage out there. Hit Mage in the face. Get some more cards. Alright. Mage has only 4 cards in hand. There is one more spell damage minion left. Okay, so Conjurer's Calling. Trying to survive with that. It fails. Mage is dead. I think I'll just keep the Battle Mage. Let's see how it goes. There was an argument for keeping all of those, I suppose. Rogue didn't keep anything. It's getting interesting now. I think I want a couple of minions on this board. That's not necessarily going to be a backstab. I could have played the sidekick on this to play around backstab a little. But I figured this will be able to trade better if it comes to that. And that's exactly what happened here. Of course, next turn, deadly poisons, all sorts of stuff become available. This is the Miracle Rogue, by the way. Edwin Van Cleef, Questing Adventurer. Looking for some backstabs. Might even go with just an Eviscerate. Or with that. So maybe not Miracle after all. Just Neophyte against the Druids. I can see that. Let's see if I can pick up a Taunt minion with that. I cannot, but that's not a bad minion either. Don't protect this one rather than the Battle Fiend. No, that would be crazy. Would it really be crazy? Do I even want to attack this turn? I mean, I'm pushing 9 if I do. If I don't, what do I do next turn? I think I still backstab Eviscerates. They can be found now.
Hey, I got you, friend.
I guess I'm buffing that one. And I guess I'm attacking just so that I will have more things that I can do next turn. Those are going to the dome. We'll give this a try.
A cruel fate awaits you in the ashes.
The moment Rogue finds some backstabs, Rogue can get back into this. Alright. There are no zero cost mage spells, so that doesn't give anything immediate. No backstabs. Cool. So this will be the Blazing Battle Mage, of course. Do I want to trade? Or do I just go face with everything? If I go face with everything, I do 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I have 5 next turn. Potentially a little bit more. I think it's just face with everything. I think this is just face with everything. Let's just deal some damage. I have 5 from here. All I need is 3 more from the board. Can the Rogue handle it? Hi, Håkana. Nice to be back home chilling watching OG stream. Oh, I'm glad to have you here. Okay, so Rogue could find a freeze effect. I suppose that's what the Rogue is looking for. The thing is, I don't need much. Rogue has to freeze the 2/2 as well.
Deal with him.
I mean, that Skull of Gul'dan really... Oh well, and So I'm 1 off. So now the Rogue would have to get a taunt or freeze my face. But I already saw the mage spells. He won't be able to make a taunt. Yep. We'll see. Yes, Paladin is very good against aggro. I am extremely well aware of that. JF Word, subscribed. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that. My game's better. A Cleric of Scales. So a Tempo style Dragon Priest probably. Should be able to get a Penance or an AoE spell from that. And I think I have to... Do I have to use the coin? I guess I can afford to, yeah. I do want to kill that minion. Thanks, Jayford. I appreciate that. This sort of priest deck just usually does have those AoE spells. So I'm a little unhappy about that. Do I commit another Battle Fiend? I think I can commit a Blazing Battle Mage here. Pull back the Battle Fiend a little bit. Maybe I can get a Braid of the Infinite played here, and then I can go Battle Fiend Umberwing as a follow-up. Well, now there's also a chance to get a Holy Smite or something. I didn't get the cards that would buff up the health of my minions, sadly. So now I, of course, have to assume that this board will be forfeit next turn. But I have another Battle Fiend coming, and alongside a Demon Companion. So even though this board probably dies now, it shouldn't be that big of a problem. The board died to a top deck 1-cost spell. Well, that was unfortunate, I have to say. Fine. I can save the Demon Companion for next turn. I can do Battle Fiend, Frozen Shadow Weaver, and kill off the Pyro. But now there's a random spell, and there's still the spell that was drawn with the Cleric. So we'll see. Do you prefer this variant? I showcased both last month. I showcased this one too. I showed them both last month already. I think I want to kill this. I want to Skull next turn. This turn is Slice and Hero Power to kill that. Then it's a Demon Companion. And then it's Guardian Orc Merchant to protect the Battle Fiend a little. And these are going to the Dome. Obviously, Priest can now have plenty of stealing cards and all sorts of things. We'll see. Getting that Cabal Acolyte and something thrown in here would make me feel bad. It could still happen. Wave of Apathy can still happen. Lots of opportunities for a Wave of Apathy at least. Yep, there's the Wave of Apathy, and so then if there is... Well, now I have to Claymore Adept, right, to kill that. Yeah, I think I have to Claymore Adept now to kill that, instead of playing the Skull. Not leaving up space for an Apotheosis here. Soul Mirror can obviously be played, leaves me with just 6 damage here, so not enough to kill the Priest. We'll see. Seeing a set egg is always a good sign. Bit of a potential desperation play, hopefully. But we'll see, because things are about to start happening here. Ah, that was splendid. 5 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. Not quite lethal. So this is a skull turn, and I will trade away the Setek. Probably. So first the skull. I kind of do like the look of this. So I'm going to hero power, hit into the Setek, use this to kill the Setek, use both of these to hit face, then get the Bone Chewer Brawler out there. And which minion do I give health to? I mean, it's one or the other.
Hey, I got you, friend.
It might be the 4-2 instead of the Battle Fiend. Let's give this a try. So now Soul Mirror is not a solution. There are 2 minions here that would survive a Soul Mirror. There is a Taunt minion that could be stolen. There was always the chance of the death, that's why I buffed this instead. 2 random radiances already. That's pretty good. Go to 15. And I have 5, 9, 10. I have 11. So it's time to get the reader on the board. 4 more minions, yeah. Easily can accommodate the space. And I want to kill that to prevent any sort of plays with the apotheosis from happening. That one goes there. Clip on that to the face, this one to the face, that one to the face. Reader on the board. Let's draw another 3 cards. I find some slices, but 9 mana. What can the priest do? Soul Mirror. I mean, that still leaves me with 2 minions. So that should not be enough. Priest goes to 8. I have 2 plus 6. So I have 8. So that's lethal. Phew.
It is finished.
Well, it took a while to get through that priest. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.